might even be a little bit targeted towards Cryptic just to make his life a little bit more difficult and introduce an element of a challenge there. It'd be interesting. Be interesting to find out what they were thinking about it.
I almost feel like Cryptic wins either way, though, right? Because he's forcing them to move away from their strong suits because they're worried that he might be counter-striding them, and then they go on to maps they might not be as comfortable on, so you have a better chance of victory. I don't know. For me, personally, I think that that's fantastic that Cryptic has built up that type of reputation, and that only comes from hard work. The guy is grinding away, trying to counter-strat all the time, especially, as you mentioned, against the M80s, you know, and other top teams. I love it.
I think the luxury for M80 is that they are no slouches on Inferno.
Oh,
right?
true.
I mean, if you look at their losses, even their losses in PGL Astana were to G2 and VP, two miserable teams to play on Inferno, and they also took both those maps 13-10. So they know how to play the map. This will be interesting. Lake immediately gets his bell rung, trying to get some aggression towards the Palace. Sin gonna miss his opportunity here, and then swung upon by Laxzy. Laxzy's playing with his hair on fire, and this is just a dismantling. The A site is gone. Swisher's got the right idea. And he'll have the right kill as well. So this round's not done just yet, but Hex is in trouble. And Swisher gone. Hex soon to follow. That was a commanding pistol from BLUEJAYS.
Absolutely. Well done. BLUEJAYS executing effectively there towards the A site and isolating the M80 players, making it 1-0 in their favor. And looking at M80, I don't know if they're going to force up here. Looks like it will be the case, actually, with Swisher investing into the MP9. So there we go. They will be committing. Are they playing games with me here? They're trying to decide what they want. Either way, they're going to commit to the buy-up. It's going to be 3 pistols, the Scout, and the MP9. On the BLUEJAYS side, they've got 4 rifles off of that round victory and the MAC-10. slaxz with the Scout. No slouch with that. He's going to try and take the head off an opponent if he sees one, but he won't because Cryptic is very careful about his approach. He's lurking around mid. The rest of the squad is going into the B site, and they're going to go fast.
Execution from Laxzy. Looking good so far. Lake can't quite capitalize on that. It's some snappy shooting from the BLUEJAYS. Health might be low, but they've won all the engagements, and as we know from M80, they can be dangerous with these guns in hand, so that is well done on a relatively quick play coming through from the BLUEJAYS. Rapid of wing, and rapidly won in this. Since thinking about whether you can actually get anything in this round, but a couple D shots might be best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much data between these two squads, right? This isn't the old BLUEJAYS squads. You might look at Mirage and be like, oh, yeah, they beat the BLUEJAYS here at 13-10. No, that was a different BLUEJAYS roster entirely. They actually did play up against Nouns, which is the core that I talked about before, Junior, Clasia, and Cryptic, and they beat them 2-0. That was in February, though, February 13th. And it was a 13-11 on Anubis and then 13-3 on Dust2. So maybe that's why M80 want to go to Dust2 as a map 3 if we get there. Anyway, going into round number 3 here, M80 having forced in the previous one. They're on the eco, so it should be a quick round for the BLUEJAYS.
Should be the operative word. There's a couple deagles out. Never say never. But I am willing to say unlikely.
Saw some nice shots from Swisher and Hex, actually, in the previous one.
That's true. They did end the very faint dreams of a comeback. No presence over on B, but you haven't seen enough in the BLUEJAYS camp to make them confident of that fact just yet. That helps. Laxzy looking good through these 3 rounds. It's early, but playing a dynamic brand of Counter-Strike, which will be something they'll be looking to get from him. Sin couldn't quite track those deagle shots through the smoke. Lack of vision not helping here. So with those deagles down in the dirt, Cryptic hunting up some eeks will eventually get punished for that, but you can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot more these M80 players are going to be able to do.
I mean, that's one thing that that whole Akimbo roster was known for, a more dynamic brand of Counter-Strike that didn't necessarily translate. Yeah, it didn't necessarily translate to success at the ECL level, but you know, they were a pretty wild team, and I think slaxz can bring a nice piece of that squad to BLUEJAYS.
Hey, to be clear, when we say dynamic, we mean holding W.
Yeah,
Shotgun found. Oh, can this rifle live? No armor on slaxz, so he's going to try and find the hidey hole, and they're already trying to hunt this up. Goodbye, Hexed. Ooh, the wrap from Ticket's going to be a problem.
Terrorists win.
Oh, had the right idea. Didn't quite have the right shot. Nicely done from Laxy. Maintains his unblemished record and makes sure that there will be no Galil slipping through into the next round. slaxz has an op, though. slaxz has an op.
He does, and he was very good in the previous series.
Yeah. Yeah. This team's going to make it a little more difficult for him.
It will,
But
absolutely.
he definitely was on fire earlier. I didn't go back and check what the final rating is, but it was something stupid. 2.13, 34 and 9, 111.7 ADR across 2 maps of play.
Those
That's,
are definitely Opera's numbers.
That's pretty stupid. Wow. That'll do one for the ratings.
Speaking of stats, Laxy on the other side. He's a player that likes to go for opening engagements, as you would expect. The whole team kind of did over on Akimbo, but that's the role they've kind of put him into here over on the Blue Jays already with 29.6% attempts and a 55.9% success rate, which is good for a 1.28 rating as the action is happening here. 2 frags already for M80, 1 from Swisher. Lake collects another, and it's down to a 5v3.
That's what the doctor ordered for M80. First gun run comes out, you get a couple quick kills. You've slowed them right down over on the Blue Jays camp. They got plenty of utility if they want to go for this. They got some positioning in towards Con. Palace Smoke takes that element out of play. Rapid towards jungle's interesting here. Lake's tucked. He's low, but it's a double angle on them. First your first engagement. Lake can finish it. No, they think they're clear. They think they're clear. And that means Lake's going to take them all. Oh, the ruse worked out. It's all onto Classia now with the bomb drop at 25 seconds to try and play. With a swing into 2, it's just not happening. Nice patience from Lake. I mean, that's effectively baiting.
Yes.
That's the right kind of baiting there, John.
Well, I mean, it's intentional, too, right? It's not something that Swisher is going to be upset about. He's going to be like, okay, I'm going to try to go in for engagement. If I don't get him, then you've got a free pass, potentially, if they don't clear you. And they don't, right? So I feel almost like I said, a set play. Lake waits and pops around the corner at the perfect time, gets 2 for 1, pretty much. And then walks out, and, well, the rest of the team will join up with him, and they get the last frag. So it's 1 for M80, a very, very clean round after losing those first 3. So we're going to need to see more out of Blue Jays in these gun rounds, which is where M80 are obviously the biggest threat.
Smoke in the window. Starting to take some space here, not really being heavily contested. Lake's can take advantage of that smoke to slip through. When he gets caught, he gets rumbled. Now getting out of here is going to be a real challenge. Flashbang to maybe try and give him some cover, but yeah, Cryptic was never letting him out of that spot, and Cryptic follows up for the second as well. Captain of the squad stepping up as an individual to make this happen right now. John, that is a nasty bit of work coming through from Cryptic.
Yeah. That's something he does a lot, honestly. Comes through and leads by example, gets the frags on the board. Very effective in terms of the mechanical skill. Something he'll bring to the table very frequently on any team he's on. And he helps his team get that significant advantage. But it's not over yet. He's still got slaxz waiting here at the B side. In fact, everyone gambling towards B here for M80, which is the good call, right? Being down in the numbers gives them the best chance of success. If Blue Jays come in that direction, they absolutely will.
Shot goes wide. Might have been the one opportunity to put a stop to this, and Hex can't get anything done from jail as well. Swing back in. I mean, it's a full crunch.
Wow.
M80 just couldn't win a fight, couldn't land a shot, and Classia will be there to punish them for it. Laxy swinging in as well. I mean, there were opportunities. That's one that M80 are going to be frustrated about. Even in the 3v5, there were opportunities to make that a more competitive round, and they fumbled them.
Wow. I mean, that was absolutely fantastic from the Blue Jays. I agree, right? They sent all the players towards B. Should have been something more effective out of M80. given they had every single body in the right place, even with the man disadvantage, but still they don't even get a single frag. That is troubling indeed, as the Blue Jays have got a decent chunk of momentum headed in their way, and maybe this is a wake-up call for M80. We'll have a half buy coming through. But so far, aside from that one round, which was really nice from M80 when they first got the guns out, Blue Jays responded immediately, and it's really off of Cryptic's stellar play, taking that mid control all by himself.
Once again, going to work this mid control. It's been working so far. Why break it? Why change it up? Little info hop. I don't think Swisher caught a pixel there. Flashbang out. Lake's looking to see if he can catch one player. They don't have a lot to work with, so that was the last bit of utility, last attempt at something cheeky. Options are open for Blue Jay, but based on the positioning the bomb is be. Especially now. Lake has now got an AK. Might be worth having. Swisher doing some damage with a 5-7, and suddenly this could get a little more interesting. Give Lane 8 the shot. Classy was low, but a peek back into the op. Chances were slim to begin with, but Sin's going to keep them alive. It's the Germans now. Trying to bring back the club. You can imagine Auf Deutsch. And damage on a junior as well. Both these players low, vulnerable to the scout. Peek in, trade not available, even with extra chip. The AK is just going to have to get out of there. Sin's going to have to content himself with the one saved gun.
Yeah, I mean, the plan was here for M80 just do as much damage as possible in the eco and hope that you have an opportunity at victory, which they got both of. But in the end, it's Junior who stands tall with the AWP. Recently playing at the major with complexity.
Terrorists win.
Necessarily find the success he was hoping for there. He's back here in North America, strutting his stuff. 5-1 for the Blue Jays. Saved AK is going to be good for M80. I mean, as mentioned, they did the damage as well. Although the economy is still pretty strong here on the Blue Jays side, they should be okay regardless. M80 needs some rounds now.
Yeah, it's nice when you've won 5 on the T side. Consistent bomb plants. You get to store some bank to accumulate some wealth. When will we get the inheritance tax between rounds? That's what I want to know. Sin could be in trouble here. Utility for a retake's going to be limited, so they're going to need to get some damage on this first phase if M80 are going to have a chance in this round. Smoke fade, forward position out for Classia. We know he's not one to be shy about these engagements. And that is something. Found on through. Molotov going down. Lake chiming in as well. They're looking the wrong way. And this A defense is holding strong. Util out at the wrong moment. It all falls to Freshie, who is completely isolated from his team. And it's looking good for M80. See if Freshie can put this one together. But Sin on the angle with the AWP will not miss his shot. And a 4K for the in-game leader. Nets M80 their first gun round.
That is exactly what M80 needed. Actually, second gun round, right?
Second gun round, you're right.
Yeah, but still very nicely done there by Sin over on that A site, holding the fort. They couldn't isolate him at all and were unable to get the trade despite the bodies they were throwing at him. So absolutely standing on his head to deliver that with some fantastic movement. And M80 now staring down at the opportunity to build up some momentum of their own and try to erase this big lead that the Blue Jays have built up. But they've been pretty resilient. Even after losing convincingly in that previous round victory for M80, they bounced right back and found a strong win of their own. So impossible to count them out.
Certainly. Much more aggressive face here and towards me. And it could cost them slaxz.
What?
What was that?
I don't know.
Did he see him? He must have seen him a little bit on the jump over. Must have been some sort
know.
of pixel inkling. Either that or Lake just checking it. Oh, can't hold that angle now. Gonna get peeked onto. slaxz is playing a very dangerous game. Oh, and it is one that will cost him.
That's
had the
unreal.
right idea of where the peak was coming, but somehow Cryptic still manages to get the edge, and now M80 are in trouble.
Feels like they want to get aggressive into Palace right now.
Absolutely are. Classy is holding it. This is gonna be trouble if they're not aware. Oh. Okay, never mind. Sin is a familiar with Classy's game. That is a hell of a spot to pre-fire. They know Classy is going to be in Palace more often than not, and they were ready for him. Great awareness.
Yep. Classy likes to lurk there, and absolutely, what a shot. Now they're moving into the Blue Jays, and they will catch off Sin looking in the wrong direction. So this A-site's kind of been given up. Swisher goes for a fight and wins 2 of them. Laxy trades it back. 2v2 though, and Swisher still standing, burning alive in the Molotov. He does manage to get Laxy down to 6, so he makes this very winnable for Hex in the 1v2.
I like Laxy's
Noise made.
reposition, right?
Yeah.
You're so low, you've got to get the element of surprise somehow through here, but Hex has a good idea. Problem is, he's going to have to expose himself to the AWP to get the swing on Laxy. It's all a matter of pick your poison, trying to bait at this peak. Laxy patient with it. Done so far. There's the swing, though. Hex knew it was coming. 9 bullets. Don't really have the opportunity to go for the reload. Needs to just make this work. Swing out the face. He got the dink. He got the dink. And he heard it as well, so he's going to be able to make this work. Hex with the kit. Plenty of time. Defuse on, and one hell of a 1v2 put together.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. I mean, you saw he knew exactly what was afoot, right? The player waiting in jungle. He knows that they want to try and peek him once he goes for the fight towards site. He continuously takes that fight 3 times, in fact, and then 3rd time is a charm as the peek comes out and Hex delivers the killing blow onto the already lit Laxy, which he knew, I think that was confirmed damage, right? Onto Laxy. So Swisher's able to convey that, and Hex gets the easy frag and then finishes the job onto Junior with a nice dink that absolutely was heard. And then he gets that final frag to get the defusal. Really beautiful stuff. You cannot play a 1v2 in that situation any better than Hex just did. That's final.
So now the bank runs out.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that.
They're still forcing it down. They're still trying to make this work. Classy has gone to the AK, so it's a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of who's safe and what and when where. Let's see if the hero rifle can justify. Gonna get out of the palace. Have to be a little bit more dynamic now. There's that lone gun. HE manages to find the one empty spot. But it seems like it's going to be okay. Hex at least able to take the first, falls back towards jail. Swisher can swing for the next, and this 1-2 punch proves to be effective. For the moment, Cryptic causing problems in that AK out the window. Now suddenly, the site is compromised. It's looking so good, but with a lack of mid-presence. Player up catwalk, surprised. HE will slide the numbers in their favor. Now it all falls to Junior. No armor. An M4 at the lead. Needs to get these headshots quick. A little bit too slow to find that kill on Cat. Leaves Sin with an opportunity to punish Team Ace from the M80 side as they will keep this chugging along.
Yeah, very clinical on the retake. Our M80 there. Everyone getting in on the mix because they're all just coming in from every single angle. Blue Jays have too much to watch and they get overloaded. There's a 4th round found. At least a bomb plant for the Blue Jays in that one, which will help because they had the hero rifle purchased up by Classy, along with some slightly heavier investments given the economic situation, but they will be just fine because of the bomb plant. Yes, they have to settle for a couple of Galeals, but that's actually not too shabby. Let's see if M80 can continue delivering round after round here. This would be 4 in a row if they win it. Swisher. Ooh, that's aggressive. He's just going to jump right out the window. Mid charging up, gets one flashed and finished off by Cryptic. Another one comes through from slaxz. That is from Connector, and that'll give them the man advantage. Now they don't have to be more aggressive. They can just fall back to the bomb sites.
Blue Jays are like, all right, we're just throwing a molly in. We're not dealing with this. slaxz, though, is finding a spot over the smoke. Now a nade pop. Oh, boy.
What?
slaxz continues to rack him up and knock him down one after another. He's got the up. And this is his court now, and the Blue Jays are going to suffer for it.
That is unreal from slaxz. I mean, the support is there. I believe Sin threw that nade to pop the smoke. But wow, I mean, he just nailed every single shot. And even when the smoke bloomed back into view, he hits it through that smoke and gets the 4th on the round. Wow. All right. Well,
They're letting him get hot. He's getting hot.
that's problematic for Blue Jays, to say the least.
Don't let him warm back up. A lot of gaps in these nades. Cryptic. Further out than they expected. And that's going to be the punish onto the op as well. Cryptic just continuing to chug through. Betrayed on Alaxi. I mean, this is fantastic. Can they close is the question. Lackey util is going to hurt, but that nade evens up the numbers once more. They're both in the same spot. Cryptic trying to get the boost to just get out of here. Swisher, though, staying on the move, making himself a difficult target to hit. They'll know where the last one is. It's Hex on Freshie. The kit does make this a little easier. Out of ammo at the wrong moment. Freshie couldn't get a fresh magazine in, so it is going to be M80 to secure a tied half at minimum.
Another fantastic clutch coming through from Hex. You know, little details there. Throws the smoke onto the bomb and gives that moment of doubt. Like, is he going to go to the bomb? Is he going to try and defuse it? Or do I have to check for the peak? And that's enough of a doubt in the mind of last player standing, Freshie, on the Blue Jays. 4 Hex to work with, and he finishes him off with the bullets before easily defusing the bomb. And M80 get their 5th in a row just when it looked like Cryptic was about to power them to another round victory. Man, he's just so good sometimes in those opening duels. Not the first, and then as he loses a player, he just aggressively swings and finds a follow-up. So at least it gives him a bomb plant. Obviously, in his mind, wanted it to be the round. M80 have found new life here, and slaxz is part of that life because he gets that 4K previously, now the opening frag here.
I don't think we've seen this from him yet either.
Yeah.
It's a new look for where the op is, and you can see the respect that's being paid by the Blue Jays. They're like, you know what? Yeah, you have apps. You're holding court in apps? Oh, that's fine. We'll go somewhere else. Excuse us. But now they have to worry about the bricks. That's what Junior can do. Get players in towards window. Like watching for this on the smoke fade. It's going to be a tough fight with Laxi. And that's exactly why that guy is crisp on the headshot. Go out towards bench, but as he tries to check, turns into a 2-on-2, who now just into Laxi clutch. This to take the ace. He's already got 3 in the round. You pull off the 1v2 to boot. Laxi certainly showing why they're interested in him, but it's going to be a tough ask. They'll work together. Over, smoke's over. The flash doesn't catch. Now you know. We've got to get the kill. The 2 hot hands going toe-to-toe. slaxz getting on the tap. There's the nade pop to check it. But slaxz on the edge.
Wow.
Oh, he was expecting that maneuver. And the Savvy Opera will get it done on the rifles to give them the 7-5 lead as we head to the break.
Terrorists win.
Lately, I feel I can't find my feet. Pushing closer, my heart skips a beat, and now I'm falling deeper than I fly. I can't control it. Dark against the sky, it's not so black and white. It's like I told him, there's things that I can't fight. I just keep going. I just keep going. In my time.
Some spicy rounds in that first half have led to a 7-5 scoreline. M80 in the lead, but a tightly contested game, it seems. It's anyone's to take here on Mirage.
Yeah, I think, though, honestly, M80 had some fantastic retakes to come through towards the end. We saw spicy play from the Blue Jays to even make those opportunities arise. Lots of bomb plans for them on their T side. Cryptic leading them by example and through the strats. It's honestly been an exciting, like you said, map so far. Let's see if the second half delivers similar to the first. M80. There's been a weakness for them today. It's been the pistol rounds. This time, heading towards B. No one's really home. Okay, now there will be. There's a player watching from Cat and one watching from Market. Freshie connects with a couple of legs, but that's not really going to do it as he loses Junior on the site proper. Freshie does get one back, but bomb will go down.
Bomb plan early. And it's going to be long on the rotations for a couple of these players, right? Cryptic coming from downtown. Classy doing much the same with the lack of a kit. Time is going to become precious very quickly for the Blue Jays. So better get on that wing. Fly on into the site. Maybe you're wondering why this has been so stunted. Why they stalled them out, but they're stacking up the kills, and they seem to be doing it in the nick of time. They're running out of that clock. You can deal with the vent player. You can deal with the vent player. You need to get on the bomb right now. There's no choice but.
Oh, no!
And it's a round win. Isn't it?
I don't know.
Is it close enough? Is there time? There is!
Oh.
Just in the nick of half a second to spare for Laxy. He gets it done. There was a kit to be recovered. I hadn't realized there was a kid on site. That's my mistake. Of course Laxy had it all the time in the world.
Laxy, oh, look, I mean, that was ridiculous because he's the low HP player, and you'd think it would just be an easy flick afterwards from Sin to find the last, but no, Laxy's too quick on the trigger and finds the shot as Sin is in transition to try and locate that last target. Alrighty.
He's having a barn burner in the game, isn't he, John?
Absolutely. It's what they brought him for, right? To add that firepower, and that's something that Akimbo were flush with. And I think that Laxy, as a unit, Akimbo didn't really succeed because they all just wanted to constantly frag and hold W. But individually, those pieces could become very effective on multiple North American rosters, and you're seeing that in Laxy.
Bomb might get way into Palace. Rotate back to support. Classy is far forward, so they got to be a little careful with some of these audio cues, but I don't believe they've given anything up just yet. You can see from the lack of a second player on site that Blue Jays do not know what's coming. Focusing in towards middle. Smoke window late to take some space here in mid. Cryptic is starting to readjust, but they're going to be able to get a little bit of this pinch pull with Sin going his way up middle. Being just a bit of a threat from Khan. No one watching it off a catwalk either. Blue Jays really don't have a lot of vision on it. They're relying on Cryptic, and as players come out of the ramp, he's naturally going to get his eyes drawn elsewhere. Had to focus on Khan. That left him exposed to Palace, and now they're in trouble. This is big trouble on. They don't have the retake utility either, John. They have no smokes.
Yeah, they're done. They're out. The thing is, I don't know if Laxy gets out cleanly. Sin is waiting here over at the half wall. Or, excuse me, at the broken wall. Junior's watching it. Yeah, Junior's making sure that Laxy gets out safely. And now, Sin will be staring down at a bunch of nothing. Either way, M80. Wonderful take. Swisher in particular with Lake doing good work from Palace, executing a couple that were trying to defend that A site, one towards Ticket and the other one just underneath the balcony, and no chance at all for them. Lake and Swisher were just too good.
Well, I also just feel like something was going wrong there for Blue Jays. It looked like It's hard to say exactly what. Either they were trying to set up for a specific play and they just got caught at a bad moment in that, or maybe somebody else was supposed to pick up responsibilities there in towards mid, because it's unusual to have 3 players committed in towards the B site without any real intel to tip them off for it. That meant that Cryptic really felt like he had to be committed towards watching Catwalk, watching Con, and then left him super exposed to the Balk, which is where that fell apart. So something went wrong in that round. Without being in the comms, it's pretty impossible to pinpoint what. But that's not the way it's ever really supposed to look, especially that late into a CT round of Mirage.
Yeah, there's no question. Either way, M80 pounced at the opportunity and didn't look back. Lake's already out of connector with 1:31 the clock, and he was alone. Cryptic, beautiful shot. Hex gets the immediate trade, but Junior's right there.
Oh,
this is falling apart for M80.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Tink's over. Laxzy's going to get that. He's been lethal right now, and they can't even find the damage. That falls apart in an instant. The Traptor spring shot. Lake made a footstep as he was getting out of Con, and as soon as they realize...
Yeah.
The read and react is quick. So whatever, you know, whatever we were critiquing about the comms or the transition or the moment or missing your window in that previous round, Blue Jays make up for it more than in this.
I feel like Lake was just a step early ahead of everyone else. I don't know if he was just slightly uncoordinated with the rest of the squad in that round, but he goes down, I don't want to say for free because the trade does come through eventually. What's that?
It was pretty free.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say it was certainly heavily discounted for being a Deagle.
Gotta be more careful, honestly. And M80 paid the price. So we go back and forth in the early rounds. I thought losing the follow-up for Blue Jays after getting the pistol could have been something that could damage their confidence, but not at all. I mean, they just struck right on back. I guess I shouldn't even be thinking that because of what happened in that first half after they had that very big loss and they bounced back immediately.
Much heavier mid presence here. That's a nice find for Laxzy. Timing on in the bridge punishes Lake, makes it very uncomfortable now. Hex trying to make some room, but that's the end of the mid presence. They got to get it done here, and they have indeed. There's no scope to cover this, so they have to shoot their way out.
This is wild.
It's a gunfight. Just headshots all the way. Bomb gonna be down. slaxz gets a new magazine. Flashbang. I like the idea of the transfer. Khalil transfer coming through from Sin. Oh my goodness, Elias.
Using all 35 bullets available to him there. I mean, maybe not all of them, but taking advantage of the bigger magazine at the very least of the Galil and that transfer. Very well done from Sin. Felt like for a moment it wasn't going to come to fruition, but he does get that last one in the nick of time. And M80 strike back again, 9-7. I mean, the Force by Words are going to continue here. Both teams wrestling for control, and that round was so back and forth. Each team doing so well in the training, right up until the very last, right? It had to break somewhere. One team had to get that round victory, and it was M80 who had the critical one coming through from Sin in the 1v2 situation. Now B is completely empty. Blue Jays are gambling towards A, and M80 are not heading there. Maybe they'll realize it soon enough, though. It seems like M80 have slowed up in the apartments, and yeah, they have Classy here at the very least. He's got one of the big pieces in the M4.
Trying to come to support, but Glacia needs to stay alive. That's the critical piece. These flashbangs are lethal. They'll get away from this. They need to be a retake player trying to get out window. Able to do so. Junior punished for that A1S. It's Cryptic on the flank who can get the piece. He's still disjointed from the rest of his team, and right now they're focused in front of them, not worried about the flank, not worried about behind, and so Cryptic will take full advantage of that. Means Sin now needs another clutch. Footsteps are giving him away. They know where he's coming from. Got the angles. Freshie and Cryptic to find. The boss duo.
Yeah.
Chemistry from back in those days still available. For the moment, at least, Sin finds the gap, but they know the pressure's on him. He's the one who's got a plan. The smoke's going to go up and try and make that a reality. Cryptic doesn't peek off of it. Want the round, not to just deny the plant. Cryptic trap forward. Sin's not ready, but the shot doesn't find home. Stay of execution for the moment, but one that Freshie will be able to correct. Blue Jays pull this gap to just one.
That is such great timing from Cryptic coming out on the flank. Like, if he goes too early, then maybe M80 realizes it soon enough. If he goes too late, then he won't be able to help out his team. Right at the perfect time to support Freshie. The crossfire's in. They get 2 off of it. M80 only find 1. And, well, I mean, you saw it at the end. It was a great effort from Sin to at least get that bomb planted, which is important for the money here of M80 since they're going to be likely on an eco in this round, but it's for the next round it'll be important. But the Blue Jays, you know, they keep going in. I say eco, I forgot. We're still in the Force by Wars, so I expect M80 to actually go into it. It will help out their buyout. As we still see both teams wrestling back and forth. We've seen some exciting rounds, though. I mean, the trades have been good, like I already highlighted, every single round since we've been in these Force by Wars.
Absolutely. I mean, these rounds are coming down to a knife edge. You get the hero rifle on Lake. You know these deagles can't do damage. Op out for Junior. He struggled to find comfort here on Mirage, so this might be the antidote. He's a player who tends to favor that big green. Mid control not contested for the moment. Smokes to set this up. If they rock up Catwalk, they've got a real good window for this right now. It seems like Khan might be the intention. That's classy. Oh, good timing on that nade pop. That's going to be a heck of a find. Now Classy realizes this is the whole idea. This is everything. And Junior's keeping them bottlenecked up. There's just no way out of this. There's no way into this round. Swisher stuck behind a Molotov. Has to watch as the kill feed fills with the names of his teammates. And he's the last to be found. 35 seconds. Maybe he gets some damage, John, but this round ain't happening.
Yeah, no. No way, no how. 29 seconds left. 5 frags. Bomb not in his possession. You're absolutely right. There is 0% chance of victory. And Junior will take care of the last. A 3K for him in the round. Has had a quiet map so far, but now he's on a CT side. He can settle in with that AWP. And more importantly for the Blue Jays, he's helped them end the Force by Wars. It's tied up at 9. And M80 don't have the cash to invest anything into this one. That means it'll likely be a 10-9 lead for the Blue Jays. It is their map pick, but thought that we'd see a little more out of M80 in terms of convincing rounds.
Still a lot of time.
Blue Jays, I think we Yeah, no, absolutely. I just think that maybe underestimated the Blue Jays a little bit.
Very possible. I think that earlier game against Marsborn maybe quieted expectations for this Blue Jays team, but there's a lot of pieces here that we'd like to see, so interesting to see how they can gel. Come the approach. Make it happen with the Glocks out towards B. Player top mid gets rumbled. Good. Glock not all dying to the center. 2. Well, didn't. Sidearm had to come out. They actually got that kill, and that's bomb plant. Bomb plant.
Oh, no.
Nade will deny, and Junior will make sure that there is no second set of hands to touch that C4. Nicely done from Junior to deny the money.
Yeah, that's phenomenal work there with that nade to prevent M80 from getting the plant, because if it doesn't come through, I'm pretty sure that at least that money is built up for M80. And you see the result is that 2 Galils instead of 2 AKs. That's the difference between the bomb plant and not. We'll see what type of impact that has on the round, if any. It does give you a little bit of a leg up for the Blue Jays. Junior wanted to try and block that smoke, but unable to do so. Just goes for visibility before it blooms. And now he's got the maybe try and wants to pop it and get some visibility. Either way, Cryptic, they want to pinch in towards mid, it seems, the Blue Jays. And there they go, they're out. And maybe got some kind of read that was happening there. Perhaps that aggressive utility thrown towards top mid, and they backed off.
Many certainly know a lot rides on this round. Hexed. Trading back some damage here in the underpass. Holding on to the position at the very least. 4 players are ready for middle. Since thinking about it. Oh, the peek out is going to be devastating. Finds the op. Junior repositioning off of that. The util will keep him contained, at least for the moment. Flying around for Swisher. Trying to create some space, but Classy ready to receive him. A couple of kills. Not so many crosshairs left right now for M80. slaxz tacked on the one. And they go back to finish the job. Junior through the smoke. Woo. Making it happen. 4 big kills. Waited till late in this game to make his impact felt, but it is being felt in spades.
Yeah, Junior's on a heater right now. Absolutely. That first half was so slow for him, and he's got the majority of his frags, or maybe even just the last 3 rounds. Unreal stuff. He can be a difference maker, especially on a map like Mirage, but to see it there with both the op and the M4, fantastic work. 11-9 for Blue Jays. Not only did they get that 11, M80 were on a gun round there. And you're looking at their money here. They have to go for the eco. Otherwise, they're going to sacrifice themselves and put themselves in a forced buy situation up until the finish line. Laxy postured in the apartments. He's also been phenomenal. We can't forget about his performance, not only in the first half, but here in the second. He's up to 20 frags now. He's got the support of Freshie. They got this on lockdown. There's no way to look at Laxy. Yeah, he's farming away. Gets 1, 2. Freshie's still there to support. This should be under control, even if Laxy dies, which he does, and the round is done. Blue Jays, Mike, 12, and M80, 9.
Guns are going to come out, at least for M80, to try and make a go of this at overtime, but the Blue Jays are cooking. Momentum's in their favor. Laxy's been on fire all game, and it feels like now his teammates are catching up to meet him. So this is looking like a tough team to make a go at here on Mirage. Let's see if they can seal the deal. Get us thinking about Inferno. Boost up. That would be a run boost for a moment, but just to peer on over for slaxz, trying to get vision on somebody bottom connector. Aggression, the gun model blocked it. So she didn't realize what he had in time, and Cryptic now has so much control. Junior aggressive top mid. slaxz at least can adjust back for that. Could have been an absolute disaster. Instead, it's just a little bit of a bad situation. Might be the Blue Jays putting this one to rest. Hex lives, but only by a thread. It's going from bad to worse here for M80.
Jeez. I mean, look, Blue Jays have got it in the palm of their hands now. It's their round to lose.
Cryptic will make sure they're not going to do it easily. Sin out of play. It keeps getting better and better for the Blue Jays. Ops in the right position. There's no way you're getting past this.
Wow.
Not happening for Hex. We've seen some magic from slaxz, but this would have to be the biggest trick yet. 40 seconds to try and put together 4 kills and a round win. And now he's been spotted, and now Freshie will exterminate. No misses for Blue Jays in that final round of play. They got hot at the right moment to put M80 in the rear view mirror and drive away with their map win.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, you ended the Force Buy Wars effectively, and at a moment where and that was 16-14 win over the last 3 months anyway. And then, well, now this new Blue Jay squad around the Nouns core played it twice, and they beat Getting Info again, and then had that overtime match up against Lag. So overall, I think Blue Jays are they can acquit themselves very well on Inferno. I think there's no doubt about that one. And I just feel like this is going to be another Mirage, right? Similar to what we saw previously, where we're going to have a lot of very fiercely contested rounds between the two squads.
Well, we're into the action now, into the server. It's going to be Cryptic Start now with the lobbed smoke down middle. That's at the aggressive look in towards alt mid if they'd like it. 4 players here early, so it is a very heavy call from the Blue Jays. They want to brawl out of the bedroom. They want to fight these players alt mid. And the bomb's been left in the kitchen for the moment. Swisher wanted to punish, but he can't go too far. Cryptic has found the player. Lands the killing blow. Pogo's sticking away. Somehow will stay alive, and a couple things back the other way. Swisher now able to follow it up through the panel. So it's kind of an even exchange through the early round. Have M80 realized, yeah, they're starting to put the pieces together. There cannot be much of a defense here on towards B. So, good luck, Klasia. Everybody's coming barreling your way, and a smoke to cover the cross. Junior just try and get lucky here. A little bit of an ankle shot, but that's going to be it. Spot on to Klasia now, but one body found. All that he could bring. Nice follow-up for Swisher before getting the bomb down, but Freshie trading that back means that this is still very tightly contested.
Yeah, Cryptic's going to be staring down into smoke, and Sin is thinking about it. Do I push through the smoke? Do I try to take a fight?
They're going to
Do we
leave.
fall off completely? Yes, they're going to fall off completely from that B site and go back to A. They're trying to go silent for now. Eventually, they're going to start running because they have to. But they're not going to be heard here at all by Freshie or Cryptic. Once the smoke fades, you'd imagine that Freshie and Cryptic are going to be like, okay, let's check out what's happening here. But it'll be too late. That bomb should already be planted by that point.
One thing to keep an eye on that doesn't come up too often, but it does sometimes in these late, long engagements. As you see Freshie reloading is, the CTs don't actually have a lot of ammo left. I think Cryptic has 12 bullets in the gun and 4 to spare.
Yeah, there's guns on the ground they could have picked up to restock that ammo, right?
Yeah, we'll
Could've got
see.
blocks,
We'll
but they
see if there's a
didn't.
protracted engagement. I mean, 12 bullets should be plenty.
Yeah.
Until it's not. Time's going to be short here. This time there's definitely no kit.
They got to stick it. No choice. No
They've
choice,
lost
guys.
the round.
The
They've
effort's
lost the
over.
round at this point. They know it. Just about the kills. And while there will certainly be no survivors here, Freshie will at least walk away with a kill reward. Does he get away? I think he's got it.
Terrorists win.
I'm just surprised that they don't have Cryptic sticking the defusal I think it was Cryptic, but anyway, just having the other player stick the defusal and then Freshie hunting down the frags, which would have worked out because Freshie got both of them. Very strange decision from the Blue Jays. You always have to play to win the round. In that case, I feel like they let it slip away. So 1-0 for M80, finally winning a pistol round after losing both of them on the previous map. Perhaps that is a good omen. 2 MP9s, M4, and a couple of pistols here for the Blue Jays on their force buy as they're trying to go for it. Freshie takes a lot of damage from that Molotov to gain this positioning, and even after he gains it, Hex spots him, so all of that was for naught.
Cryptic forced off by that smoke. Timely exchange, though, coming out from Klasia. And so for the moment, at least, M80 are held at bay. Classic push-pull. Establish some control top banana. Shift back, establish some control brackets. Freshie getting a boost up, seeing nothing so far, but there could be a player tight to this, so he knows. Especially with the way that smoke's billowing. That nothing is guaranteed. Clear on. I mean, I don't expect 2 players to be in front of this. Flashbang, he's in front of it, but heck, still going to be able to get the kill, and now realize that the second's there, so that's a good exchange, good trade, and with Lake collecting one on the other side of the map, now they're going to double back. Or are they? Lake's making a lot of noise. It's certainly holding Cryptic here, but his teammates, meanwhile, with 20 seconds to go, are committing in towards A.
Would have been a better choice to go B.
Yeah, it's going to be very short here, John. Swing on out from Laxy. He's gone. Freshie burned. That's going to allow the bomb plant at the very least.
Yeah, that was a little scary for M80, but they make it work just because, you know, there was only the deagle towards the B site. Cryptic would have been very isolated and alone, likely traded easily and would have been a bomb plant B, but it all works out for M80 in the end. Anyway, even with limited time on the clock, and Blue Jays decide that they should save the A1S, which is absolutely the correct decision. They also have the body armor on both Cryptic and Freshie, and that's all they're going to have in the next round. They'll be on to the Eco, 2-0 for M80.
Terrorists win.
Classic Inferno, where despite the 2 round losses, you still got Freshie without a death because they forced into a save. That's Inferno for you.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get away from it. Nice swing from Cryptic just off the deagle. Holy cow, zone. Freshy's followed
Look
it up
at
as
this.
well. And now things are getting very interesting indeed on this eco.
Oh, Clasia.
He's past them. He's just got the USP, but they have no idea he's here. What can he get out of this? Back turned. Clasia trying to pick his moment to strike.
Fresh
Players
got
just
that
jump past him, and there we go. Assassination. Yes, it will be traded, but now it's just all onto slaxz to try and recover this round of play. Two of his opponents don't have armor. Where's the bomb?
It's right next to him.
There we go. Look, the Khalil will chew through these unarmored players quickly, but it's Freshy who's the real problem on the flank.
You think he'd activate sooner? Probably not. Doesn't need to. Oh my goodness. What a shot from Laxi. It just goes to show you, Mike, right? It's only the Deagle and the AK, or sorry, not the AK, the M4 that was saved through. And those two guns are the ones doing the most damage. 3 frags immediately from Freshy and Cryptic. And afterwards, Deagle gets picked up by Laxi and he gets the last blow. So, I mean, honestly, it's just a great example of how discipline, saving guns, keeping your nerve, and waiting for the next round can really pay off.
Total disaster right now for M80 as a result of that. Got a Tech 9 on Hex. They need a recovery here. It's going to be limitations to the util, but it's enough to get on towards a bomb site. And a dink up early on the Cryptic makes this at least a little bit easier. If it was an AK, it would have been a kill, but that's not the world they're living in right now. Now Junior's getting aggressive. Player still at the logs. Junior isolated. He's got the right line for this. Teammate came back with Flash Lake out. It'd be a problem, but there's no one close at hand. So for the moment, seems to be the optimal idea. Though as I say that, Junior fades away. Slaxz forward position. That catches. So she's found another. It has to be Freshy, and there's just too many targets. He's overwhelmed.
Oh, wow.
Overloaded, and that's going to be the save. Blue Jays are on the wrong side looking in. Lake is close. He's past the up. He's got the upgrade. And Clasia is between a rock and a hard place here.
That's just not good in terms of result from the Blue Jays. 3 players towards the A site ready to receive. But, I mean, some great utility usage from M80. Got to give them credit in terms of the flashbangs and the smokes that they deployed. Got to get at least 1 there, perhaps 2, with all those bodies in position. M80 doing a great job chewing through them. 3-1 in their favor. And now the Blue Jays, money's weird. You can do something with it, though. I guess you can buy it for Laxi and Junior, and everyone else goes for an eco.
Yeah, the loss bonus is still good enough that there's no reason to chase this. It's
Yeah.
not necessary. You'll have a good buy next, and you'll finally be able to stabilize that utility. We know how important the utility is on CT side Inferno, so... But the op given over for slaxz, that's nice. You don't always love to purchase those on T side of Inferno, but when they come on of your opponents, it's the Zywoo model of investment, I think. Aggression coming through. They hear the drop down from Hex. I mean, now's the moment to strike. Now's the moment to strike. Back turn, util setup, but he snaps around in time, and Hex, quick on the trigger, eventually find his doom. But he's earned himself the rest.
And he's trying to sort out the utility, make sure it's in the right hands here. We'll be going for the execute towards the B site. They've got time to rotate back to A should they choose. That might be the call.
Really? They're going through it. USP close up. Can't do anything. Molotov actually clears it for them. Now Junior's just tucking tail and running. They know they've got him on the ropes. I'm going down. Flax is going to recover that AK.
Oh, no.
M4, sorry. And there's going to be nothing to do but save it.
Yeah, no, that was Junior chasing a frag through that smoke as he was trying to fade away, and that was his fateful error, is shooting that one bullet, because Swisher would not let him get away afterwards. Just death by 1,000 paper cuts. And it's a 4-1 lead for M80. Blue Jays didn't invest much into the round, so they're fine. They get away with the M4, which is a good piece. That's off of Hex's body. M80 looking a lot more comfortable here on Inferno than they did on Mirage. That is for sure.
Terrorists win.
Still early days, and here's that investment we're talking about. Here's the big guns coming through. So, interestingly, I was going to say, okay, it does actually get dropped over. I was going to say for a moment, Junior hoarding the wealth just a little bit, but he does eventually have to return the favor for the ball that was given over. Heavy B play here. It's just Freshy on the A side of the map. This is very big stack. C teams bring that third player over sometimes, but rare that you see the fourth off the rip. It's a gamble, and it's one that, at least for the moment, M80 will not test.
It's a lot of space that Cryptic had gained up Banana. He decides not to keep it. Falling back with the MP9. It would have been actually a good place to post up. You got MP9. You get a close range engagement.
This is the adjustment they're going to make, though. They're going to leave
yeah,
that one
they're going back to
player
A.
top B. Leave Classy to play the stall-out game so they can play 4A. So this is the information that they're going for. This is the maneuver that they're going for. And M80 really don't know anything. They don't have any brackets control. They don't have any banana control. So 50 seconds is going to come in. And they're trying to make the call out here that they know what Blue Jays are doing. Right now, it seems like they're correct. Another smoke, though. This is going to stall it out. 35 seconds. Cryptic started to come back to it, but they really don't have the firepower on this side of the map. Blue Jays have made a heavy gamble. Let's see if they can make this work. That's tough. Cryptic deleted before the Classy can get deployed. Now Classy trying to set himself up, and they just spray right through. You don't need to peek him. Just shoot through.
Yeah, I mean, look, Blue Jays didn't have the manpower, didn't have the util, more importantly, to fend off that quick push by M80. If you have a incendiary or a Molotov there in that situation, you toss it down, you slow down the push, a smoke as well can do the same thing, but it just wasn't there. And the Blue Jays try to take the fight, and they lose both of them instantaneously, even with a little lacking. It was a little lacking in terms of time left there for M80 on the clock. They still made it happen so quick that it didn't even become a factor. So now, the save is on for the Blue Jays. Junior with the AWP, and Freshy and Laxy have some A1Ss, and they should be perfectly fine. M80, they can hunt aggressively, and they are, but they're just not in the right direction. So that'll do it. 5-1 for M80. Some good patience as well as the time was going to be called from Blue Jays by M80, just trying to feel out what was happening there. Didn't necessarily have any control, as you mentioned, towards brackets, so they fall back a little bit. So let's go back to Banana. That's where it seems like we've had a little bit of success at times, and yeah, it absolutely works out for them.
It does. With the 3 safe guns, I'm surprised they're not going to chase this harder over on the Blue Jays side. Seems like they are. They're going to take the timeout right now to discuss it.
Yeah, they're going to.
Obviously, right now, things are not working out.
No. Not at all. They're having trouble in defense on both sides of the map. There's twice that they've been overloaded from the apartments into A. Under some, at the beginning of rounds, near the end of rounds, where there's not much time left, and it feels like they really just cannot get their feet planted on this defense and stop M80. They need a big stop, and it has to happen within the next 2, or else M80 could start to run away with this one.
A little bit of chip damage off the Dunkaroo. We'll player up into the bedroom. Hex will take it. That nade bomb this time finds vision, but slaxz is the one who gets tagged up. Has to back away. Still puts those banana players on notice. They're going to bail. You're trying to hold fort here with that AWP. Misses his chance at a shot.
He had to play anti-flash there.
Hasn't conceded a spot just yet, though. Four players here. Again, they've gone for this gamble. They don't have forward positioning on banana, so it's a really big risk to play this.
This feels like a fake.
The bomb positioning seems to sell it. Here comes Presence. They're going to get the kill as well, so maybe that'll tempt them back in, actually. But it is the stack, as we can see. Trade's still good. Stack only matters if you can actually get the kills. And here comes the Blue. Freshie trying to hold court, trying to lay down the law to do nothing of the sort. Last man on. slaxz is also the last to fall, and they walked into the blender, they walked into the stack, and they just killed everybody.
Yeah, Hex doing a great job on the lurk in that situation, coming through over at Moto at the perfect moment, falling through that smoke and then catching off the player on the site. Bit of a messy spray from the site player, and Hex capitalizes on that. A little bit of BM added afterwards, and M80 get a 6th for themselves. As BLUEJAYS, they have that full loss bonus to fall back on, and they're going to. It's going to be 4 A1Ss and the MP9. This is because of that 3-man save that they had a couple of rounds ago. That's the reason why they've got that money still in the bank. But this is where it runs out. And that's why I was saying they need a victory in one of these next 2 rounds. And we're in that second round of the 2 I was talking about. Oh my god. Look at how fast M80 are up here.
All the space, all the room, but you still need to actually get the kills to open up the door. That's a nice one. Found still the player in pit. Freshie's a problem. Playing in the smoke, making the bold move. The trade is there, but he's giving his team the advantage here on this retake. And the bomb still needs to be planted down. slaxz going hunting. Trying to even up the numbers, but Junior slip past. And a missed shot now means it's all on Hexed. Won't know necessarily if there's a player in the apartments, though he has an inkling. Looks away at the wrong moment, and Junior can finish off the round. Let's go. The BLUEJAYS are here and are ready to fight.
That's the stop they needed. That is the big stop they required. 3 players left standing. Took care of business against M80, who tried to throw that changeup pitch and go for a fast play. And it was working out until, like, as you aptly mentioned, you got to win the gunfights and then lose 2 players immediately to Freshie. Although a response is there from Sin, he gets the site player. The thing is, he was comfortable with his teammates watching him, and that's why he looks away from the lane angle for a moment. And really, I don't think he should have been fragged there. I believe, like, both of the remaining M80 players had visibility, or at least the possibility of getting that frag. So a little bit of a mistake, I would say, from M80. And that gives BLUEJAYS some new life, potentially. Unless they get an immediate response to the They still have plenty of cash, of course. Take this fight, and they're going to win. The first duel is theirs. slaxz gets the trade on back, and then a follow-up. He's just running and gunning with this AWP. A shotgun up, goes for a third and misses it, but Junior's alone. He is under so much pressure, and Sin takes care of him as well with the AK. 1 player remains, and it's slaxz. The rest of his team is gone.
Sometimes pressure creates diamonds. Sometimes it creates cracks. slaxz, though, trying to fill in those cracks, trying to solve this problem. As the smoke fades, we'll find an AWP on the other side of it. And slaxz waiting to capitalize. Strong round for slaxz. And M80 right back to their winning ways. BLUEJAYS in the doldrums here, John. It's trouble on.
Absolutely. I mean, they're getting through. They're getting some key round victories at certain moments, but it just feels like it's only enough to stay alive in this map. And really, right here, they do have to call a timeout to talk things over and make sure their economy's in order. They had enough to go for a risky buy-up here. I mean, I would even say almost comfortable buy-up, because Junior has enough money to get the AWP and some head armor and some body armor, excuse me. But they decide to go for the conservative one, even down 7-2. Still gives them a chance at victory and makes it a much more comfortable buy-up in the following round. So I understand what headspace Cryptic is in by calling this. This needs a lot more aggression, though. Or just
Yeah.
close angles being held with this type of buyout.
I mean, the thing is, they're trying to go for a lot of these risky stacks that you see. It's kind of the heroic school of Inferno, the Cadian school of Inferno calling. But I think the problem is, you're right, when they've got the numbers up, they're not necessarily going for the aggro moves. And so you're winding up in a situation where M80 can still pick their fights as they choose. Once again, we've got the 4-stack on A. Just Classia left with the lonely task of policing B. But with control in the apartments, M80 once again might be risking the stack up. They're determined to take this space. Well, actually could be ahead of whatever smoke they throw.
I think it's a good setup for Blue Jays. It's just that they don't get any information off of it. They fully gamble towards the A site, and if it goes B, like you said, Classia's on an island. There's no chance support will be coming.
Problem is, and Swisher's actually going back to adjust this, they've left the bomb behind while they take this control top banana, which did leave a window for things to get really weird. But you're right, Blue Jays have no info. And M80 have done a good job of starving them of it. So now as this B hit comes in, it is just going to be Classia with a 5-7. No util. And a fast flank, to be fair, if he slows this down at all, there's a chance. Unfortunately, that is a big ass. 1 kill might not be enough. The bomb's around the corner, and at some point soon, slaxz is going to turn around. Closer than he might expect, and indeed, that is slaxz overwhelmed, so things are about to get interesting. Laxi catches quick. They're not slowing down in the slightest. And now, overwhelming numbers coming back through, but Lake and Swisher can only hold on so long. So that fast flank, that huge risk that they took, pays off to perfection.
I'm glad they took the risk, right? I was saying you have to be aggressive in situations where you have that type of buy-up, and they said, okay, well, they didn't go, hey, we've got no information, might as well full send it down mid, and that is absolutely the correct call. They get up to banana so quickly, as you mentioned, slaxz goes around, turns around expecting a fight, but he certainly didn't expect 3 players at the half wall swinging him at the same time, and he just splits the difference with the AWP, doesn't get a single frag on the board, and that leads to M80 getting overrun by those MP9s towards the B site. Such a nice job from Blue Jays, a key round for them to pick up, and we're getting back to that brawly back and forth Counter-Strike that we saw on that first map. Buy-up comes through for both sides, still as M80's economy is probably going to remain healthy until the end of this half. They want to have a stranglehold on Inferno. They don't want to allow Blue Jays to get a breath of life. And Lake gets the opener onto Cryptic.
Hitting the pause button here. Expecting some sort of a response back in from the Blue Jays. None to be had just yet. Smokes will go out towards A. That isn't where that one was likely supposed to go. So miss smoke here might create a little bit of a problem. Classy is trying to take advantage of it. Sees that there's nothing here, but it's just players back around the corner. So in a way, this might give a false sense of security as Classy starts to rotate in to the B support. This actually worked out well for M80. How to miss smoke but still make it work. The M80 way. Or was it all ruse? Was it all design, John? That's the real question here.
So, she's very, very exposed here with 22 HP. He's got Laxi above him. That
or not. Some keys, you know, they don't open the right lock. All about the combination of those two factors. It's going to be a save, is what it's going to be for Blue Jays. They try and keep their economy at least struggling along for this final round. I say that. Junior's got money to spare. Can open up the piggy bank.
That's a big round victory for M80 to find, though, because, you know, they're stifling the Blue Jays at every turn. When Blue Jays think they might have a window into it, they get shut down immediately. And they haven't been able to string 2-round victories together here on Inferno. And they won't be able to in this first half at the very least. So it's going to be 8-4 at best for the Blue Jays. With the saved guns, it will build a pretty strong buy-up regardless. They want rounds desperately.
Final round of the half. M80 trying to take some. Ooh, little tease. Little tease of an upper. Get him all excited. And then not swinging. Well, slaxz. Continue to get teased. Just a hint of an agent in there. Here comes the move. And it'll be Lake instead to steal that away. Classy painted into a corner. Knows he's stuck, trying to deploy everything just to give him a window. Swisher, though, claimed, and Classy continuing to fight here. Dancing, dipping, diving, dodging, making an absolute nightmare of himself. They cannot deal with Classy. And so, at least the Blue Jays will have a fourth to fall back on as we take a break.
We don't do no talking round here. We don't play no games round here. We ain't never slipping round here. This another level, this one over here is very rare. We don't do no talking round here. We don't play no games round here. We ain't never slipping round here. This another level, this one over here is very rare. Rhythm got me skanking, had me feeling like I'm Fred Astaire. Bread was kinda short, but I was smelling like a millionaire. Claimed their opposition when we stepped in, they were running scared. Man were louding up the atmosphere. Too much chatty, too much catty. I just lit a fatty and it came from Cali. I'm already here. I was in the clouds, I don't ever take the stairs.
Strong lead for M80, but the Blue Jays with a final round. A little bit of a late resurgence here, giving themselves a chance to play on Inferno. Still, this round would go a long way to making that a lot easier here, John.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think there's, like you said, there's still life there. Those last 8 rounds, let's say, of the first half, I say last 8 rounds, the second half of the first round, first half, excuse me, was very back and forth. Blue Jays M80 trading blows in terms of wins and losses. Glacia standing on his head in that final round of the first half, getting a 3K with the 5-7 to bring Blue Jays back into it and give them a chance here, a bigger chance in the second half of finding a recovery. And one weakness, I would say, for M80 as of late really has been the pistol rounds.
It's always an issue. No fun playing from behind, especially in MR12. It's a lot easier to not deal with that situation altogether. But they've already taken 1 this map, so see if M80 can make it 2. Comes the approach. Pretty straightforward. There's no second element to this. They're not wasting any time. They're just getting straight into it. And Hax isn't wasting any time. Striking from the pit. Well defended here from Hax. Even guessing it where the next one might be coming from. Putting Glacia on notice. Says, you know what? No way I'm going to do that. I'm not going through that. Junior's going to have an interesting opportunity when the smoke fades. They give him 2. Ooh. Ooh. Wanted to chase it. Gives away the opportunity, and now with that bomb drop, Junior is in trouble.
Yeah, I would have almost liked it if they just sent the bomb towards B and let Junior try to find something here on the A side and make noise. That would have yielded likely a bomb plant. Now Junior, with 17 seconds left, an opportunity, and he won't find anything. M80 do indeed get both pistol rounds here on Inferno, a 9-4 lead. Blue Jays, no bomb plant, Mike, means no force buy.
Yeah, now the margin for error is really slim. They're going to go in. They're going to go in. Yeah, they don't want to deal with it. I don't mind this, actually. I don't mind this.
I don't either. Yeah,
because if you save for the eco, then you've got double digits on the other side. You've really got 1 gun round where you've got some limitations to do anything. This way, you give yourselves 2 gun rounds, probably, or you give yourselves a force buy and then a better gun.
Yeah. I guess being down this many rounds, they figured it's worth the risk, right?
Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Tech 9s can be deadly. Death ball pack coming up, Banana. Swisher in trouble. Gonna bail on out of there. Get a smoke down for good measure. Back right away because they are coming through. Everybody's blind. But the Cryptic's vision who clears first. And somehow these MP9 bullets are not finding home. Advantage the Blue Jays, and that bomb getting punched in here.
Yeah, that felt like a panic play coming through from Sin. I don't know why he just jumped in the smoke like that. Now they're going to try and bring in the forces. Laxzy continues to do damage here. 2K on the round, gets the M4 upgrade. Hex, the last one standing in another 1v2 clutch. He pulled off one previously over on Mirage.
Here, Laxzy's now aware. Now thinking about it, he's got a new magazine into that rifle as well. X doesn't know, and Laxzy is so quick on this trigger. Again, the X factor here for the Blue Jays and the Tech 9 buy. The risk pays off.
Yeah, really, it's just continued the trend from the end of that first half. Like I was saying, of these back and forth rounds, even after winning pistol, M80 can't hold on. And I mean, it's just because of that quick call for the Blue Jays. Now, Banana, it's very common, right, when you have that Tech 9 force buy to try to go for something fast. Swisher would have been better served if he had an incendiary in that situation because the smoke's not going to slow them down around like that. They're just going to full send it because that's their best chance at victory. And they realize that Swisher gets overwhelmed. And Sin jumping through the smoke like that felt like a panic play. He didn't have to do that. Could have waited for the reinforcements to arrive, allowed them to get the bomb plant, and you have better numbers going in up against what is effectively a lighter buy, no matter which way you slice it. Instead, he loses his life. It's a 5v3 for the Blue Jays. Or 4v3, whatever the case may be. It was a man advantage, and yeah, after that, they just kind of closed the door. And now they slow things up.
A little bit of harassment needed, showing presence here on Banana. might dissuade the Blue Jays from looking this direction.
It just
They're gonna throw
spends
some
so much
nades.
util. We only got a couple of smokes left now, Mike.
Make those cover a lot. One more smoke for each site. Oh no, a third found for Lake
Oh,
here.
there was one on the ground. Yep.
Time's starting to get late here. 35 seconds. And again, there's one more smoke to deploy for B.
This
They're
is...
coming back to
yeah.
Banana, and there's the resmoke. I mean, they're going to have to go through it. They got to go through it. Here come the flashbangs. M80, no. M80 are expecting this. Here's the playthrough. It's complete chaos. Pandemonium. They can't get out of the spots. These players are low, but they're still alive, at least for the moment. Now the dominoes start to fall. They were doing a great job of stalling it out, but they needed a critical kill. They needed to drop that bomb, and this might have been over. As it is, the numbers get punched in with 3 seconds to spare, and this one's over.
I think there was a good 3-4 seconds where both teams were holding their breath because they didn't realize who would gain the upper hand, just trying to funnel through those smokes. And in the end, it is M80 not finding anything, and the Blue Jays finding both from Classy and Cryptic connecting on those frags. So it will be a 6 for the Blue Jays. The force buy doesn't really yield much for M80. And they bring, well, 3 pieces into the next round, but they're not buying up around this. It will be the eco. Yeah. And this is fantastic for the Blue Jays for the half to turn into this after losing pistol.
Terrorists win.
They're going to have a chance to really crunch this game.
Yeah.
I mean, that got so close that you just, if you have a stray 5.7 bullet, find the right head in that smoke, there might not have been time to plant the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way M80 gave themselves a chance there with the cycling smokes, but at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win for the Blue Jays. We have Swisher dropped out of the server, so we're going to need to take a moment, presumably, just to get him back in. Actually, don't know if M80 is playing for the team house at this point. They do have one that they make use of in, I want to say Austin? Somewhere in Texas.
So. Yeah.
Freshy's Knife says, signed by Bibian. Shout out to Bibby.
All right.
Hopefully not going to be a long one here, as this is probably just a game crash, restart, rejoin type of situation, based on what we know here, John. How are you feeling about this Inferno?
I feel like M80 have given Blue Jays that little chance of coming back here and making it a real map of Inferno and a chance at a 2-0. Blue Jays have life. They look better here on their T side than they did on CT side. And I say that knowingly because, I say that even with that recovery they had at the end, it just wasn't really enough to have a convincing CT side. But now they've carried over that energy they gained towards the latter part that Classia gave them with that 3K in the final round of the half and brought it into this second half. It's impressive that they're even in only 3 rounds back and have prevented M80 from getting to double digits after it was an 8-4 half, and M80 gets the pistol round. So there's a lot to be proud of on the Blue Jays here, even if they should lose the map.
And certainly as well, we know how difficult it can be to get your feet under you when you start out behind on the CTU side economy, right? Losing that force buy instead of just losing the straight pistol sets you back a few rounds. It takes longer to actually get the util up. I mean, if you even look at the buy right now, they're going to save presumably flat across with the 2 guns that made it through, but you're still going to wind up in the situation where you don't have money for an AWP. You don't have money for all the util. You're going to have limitations here. And so you're just constantly going to be chasing after that economy. And it gives Blue Jays just a phenomenal chance to tie this game up.
It does. It does. The only thing I'd be concerned about for the Blue Jays here is the brawly nature of this BO3, despite the big lead that M80 built up at the beginning of this half. If you ignore that and look at the previous map, it's been very back and forth. That might come back to bite them here because of the big lead that M80 was able to build up. Because I feel like even with some of these lighter vibes, even when the limitations are there in terms of the economy for M80, they can still pull together for a round victory and get themselves right back into this. Looks like Swisher has returned. So we should be underway in just a few moments. I'm guessing just a match medic has to come through, make sure we're all good to go. But yeah, I mean, the possibilities are very much there for both teams now on Inferno. When it looked convincing for M80, it looked like everything was going their way, but now it's anyone's map.
Fast play up the gut here from the Blue Jays, wasting no time, mincing no words here. All right, taking control out towards Arch, and they are not slowing down anytime soon. Hex going to try and stall this out with the 5-7. slaxz does connect one, but in the pit, he's eventually going to be overwhelmed, even with the TK to boot. Bodies have dropped. I mean, there's a chance. Since got the deagle, he's got to connect 2 shots. Player trying to get in towards the pit. This was his opportunity. As he lets the player slip deeper into the pit. The moment might be gone here. Sin gets himself a gun.
I think he's gone.
Fakes it. He fakes it as if he's backing off. But he's going to give this another look. I was hoping that they would chase this a little bit more aggressively, but Blue Jays know how important this round win is, and so eventually Sin is going to have to give it up.
Yeah, I think just no kit in that situation and no real chance at a frag to set him up for a 1v1 means that he has to go back and save the gun, which is the right call.
Terrorists win.
Keeps it in his hands, makes this next buy-up a little bit better, but still one thing, as you mentioned, Mike, that's out of their reach is the AWP, and that's been one of the most potent pieces for them throughout the day here, with slaxz just popping off map after map.
Something they will be missing. 2 kits out in play. Extra smoke's getting ferried over towards that B side. Deep smoke thrown off the rip, dude. They're going to get aggressive off of this. Looking to see if someone would give them engagement in towards mid. Double nades deep. That's good damage. Good damage. Good kills to follow off of it. The worst of it was dodged.
Yeah, Junior doing a really good job on the edge of that smoke to get visibility with a couple of bullets and realize, okay, they're not there anymore. Allows them to be a little more comfortable towards mid. Oh, some good spam from Swisher, though, and the damage continues to be rained on here by M80 towards Blue Jays.
Bit of a nade exchange, and it's Sin actually to catch a kill off of the last. So that Kobe finds home. Now advantage M80. Not a lot for the Blue Jays. They've got some control brackets, but there are 3 players here in the defense, so with the ace site being the one they choose to hit, it is the most heavily reinforced. Stola util not necessarily available. Hex has 1 molly. Has it built in. There's the tick. Early warning system. 2 players up on the boxes. More than he expected. Laxy down for the count. And now time is getting so short. 15 seconds. They need it on this next phase. Junior down. Bomb drop forward. Too many players striking. They're running out of clock. And they're running out of life.
That is so well done from M80. I mean, look, the position for Hext is known, right? Boost up on the box in the corner, but Lake in an off angle, a second player on the box, and it's just such a shock for the Blue Jays. They come around that corner to engage with that duel. They have no idea where to aim, and they're just pounced upon. Hext is the one getting those frags, of course, off of Lake's positioning.
This is going to be one of those things as well for Laxy that's tough with switching into this roster, right? The communication, right? How do you describe that? How do you describe two players up on the boxes that quickly
Right.
in that split-second moment where your teammates have 3 seconds to spare? These are the moments communication comes apart for even the best of teams. slaxz, nice find early. Flashbang's good, but Hext keep him off of his opera, at least for the moment. That was a dink. There's a bullet through the box, so it doesn't do conclusive damage, and slaxz is continuing to ring out shots for that big AWP. 3 kills found, and M80 might just be putting this one to rest.
There it is, right? We talked about the op impact, and you see it immediately. As soon as slaxz gets it in his hands here on the CT side, he's sharp, active, in the play, and finding frags. 3 on the board for himself. Timeout going to be called here for Blue Jays. Their last one here on Inferno. And things are looking pretty dire for them. I think the question becomes on their side, hey guys, do we force up? Do we just go all in for the remainder of the half and hope that we can pull off a round victory in one of the next 2? And if we don't, we send it to map 3. Or do we go for the eco here? I think the call is to send it. Maybe Class is just going for a hero AK in this situation, but that would surprise me. Well, it looks like it will be the hero AK. Fair enough, fair enough. Gives them a decent shot at victory while still not completely hamstringing themselves going to this next round. But I feel like M80 are going to take control here off of slaxz's op. He's just so active. And that's the best kind of opera you want to have on a map like Inferno.
Creates the opportunities. Peering down mid seems to be the answer this time. You got the one hero rifle in the hands of Classy. Trying to make a difference here. Flash in. Ooh, a little bit of an ankle spotted. Just a little tip off there for Hext. Someone's getting up to no good here in my apartments. Deep smoke on, we'll stall this out. Utility's so precious right now for the Blue Jays in this round.
No flash. Yep.
So they got the space. On banana. A Molotov in. And a re-clear on. And so for the moment, Swisher will hold on to the real estate.
I think without a smoke to follow up that flash, it really makes it easy for M80 to clear up banana and just have a peek here. Swisher's going to do exactly that, and so they know, okay, well, they're not here, so M80 can make the quick adjustment.
That adjustment is in the form of Sin coming in to support. Nade. Chunky. That one hurts. 30 seconds, you got a smoke and you got a flash. There's that smoke. Here comes that flash. There's going to be 3 crosshairs on the right side of this smoke to shut this down. Sin will do exactly that. No hope. No chance. Map point found for M80.
Flawless victory for M80. No damage taken at all. 12-7 in their favor. 5 opportunities at closing this one out. And I mean, the Blue Jays are going to require a very strong effort here in this final round just to get 1 more on the board, not to mention 4 more afterwards to try and push this one to overtime.
Seems like we've got a little cheeky PC crash. So we're just going to take a moment to get that sorted out. Thanks for bearing with us here. Maybe this gives Blue Jays a chance to catch their breath. Go through a little mental reset here. This game's not out of control by any measure. Problem is M80 have at least a buy in the tank. So they got a few chances to close right here and now. If Blue Jays could win 2 in a row and break the eco, maybe we can start thinking about overtime, but that's a big if.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about Dust2. What do we think about that map between these two teams here, John?
Oh, I think M80 will have a significant edge going on to that map. They've already got that 13-3 victory previously that they had against Dust2. Obviously not against slaxz and Freshy, but it was Junior Classy and Cryptic who were on the receiving end of that. And we saw M80 earlier. They have some very good protocols on Dust2. It's another map that they're absolutely comfortable playing. So I feel like if we get there, the Blue Jays are going to be hard-pressed to find success.
Well, they're going to be hard-pressed to find much of anything remaining on this one. We'll tell you that much. It has been a bit of a struggle here on Inferno. Playing from behind the pale most of the time. It's been interesting. We haven't had a lot of upsets, I think, so far in this bracket.
No, it's been very much the favorites winning.
The only one you could maybe say was Supernova Comets losing to Marca Registrata in the second round. Otherwise, it really has been the favored team in most of these matchups that's taken it through.
Yeah.
Getting info, speaking of favorite team, that one was maybe a little bit more up in the air as far as who'd be favored, seeing as both teams were going through some changes. But getting info 2-0 up on Boss. We're playing with Sauce Boy.
Huh.
Who is Sauce Boy? Huh.
What a name.
What a name. Well, there's one to check out for me.
I see Bosco in the lower bracket, but yeah. Info. We'll face the winner of this one.
That is a good reminder that there is a lower bracket. This isn't one and done. Once you made it past the second round, you got into a double elim bracket here. So, whoever loses this series will get a chance for a do-over.
Yeah, they'll face Lag Gaming.
That's a hell of a clear from Laxy. The exact angle slaxz was expecting, but the off shot goes wide. Laxy with a little bit of a stutter. So there's a rifle set to trade. What a swing, and a trade back from Freshy popping out the boiler. Blue Jays playing this one dynamic. They're not going to go quietly at the very least. They are going to swing with everything they've got. And the Swisher now will make sure they cannot get in towards B. At least through Banana. Seems a little hesitant, thinking that this could be a wrap. It means that it is just Hex on an island. Cubby, as the case may be, sloppy clear from Freshy.
Oh, that's not it.
This buys time. This buys time, but they won't give him any more chances. Imagine Swisher might want to wait for his teammate. But he's shown face. Now it's distracting. That might allow Sin the chance to get out. Nades sailing over, peppering up Junior, who's quite low now. Wants to get some cover. Junior going for the swing, but the snap around from Swisher is good for both. That smoke out from Sin was perfect. It blocked the vision for Classia, and so M80 will put Inferno to rest. Little graffiti on the box.
Yeah.
And we're moving on to Dust2.
I honestly, you know, that it took a while for them to trade Hex. They should have had it immediately. They missed that opportunity, and it buys very valuable time for M80 to get into a better position to go for that post-plant retake, and Swisher wastes no opportunity because those two frags.
But, I mean, I think we should give some flowers over to slaxz's individual performance, right? He's been lights out through this qualifier, frankly, and looking very lights out here today as well. Started to really find his form over on Inferno. Looking deadly with that AWP, so if they can get that in his hands early, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the difference in the latter part of Inferno. Once he got the op-out, it felt like the Blue Jays were not going to have another chance of winning a round. In fact, they didn't. He got, or helped them get, anyway, the final few rounds of Inferno. And now we go to Dust2, which is an Opper's Paradise. We haven't started yet. This is not live.
And also, German Counter-Strike players, ancestral home. For whatever reason, German teams have always loved Dust2. I know that when Dust2 was brought back into the pool, these two were very excited for it. So it should be a fun one. And away we go. Here we are. Final map of play. One of these teams survives in the upper bracket. One of these teams goes down. What are we showing here? Freshy's dropped the util and the P250. Keeps nothing for himself. That's selfless right there. It's gonna be
There's a decoy throwing mid there, but it was spotted up by M80, so they know nothing's happening.
Yeah, that they do. Been able to reposition, readjust to this despite it being Sin alone early towards the long fight. He didn't get caught, so now you got a lot of bodies, though. Sin will no longer be one of them. Got the altitude either. Straight on through. Lake runs one into the Dome of Cryptic, but Freshy finding that kill in mid is going to make these players uncomfortable. They don't know which way to turn. Lake's going to be exposed, so Lake opts to go for the front. Oh my goodness, Lake. Dooley's on, and there's not even a bomb plant. They didn't have a moment to do it. Talk about a way to deal with that flank as you just fight forward. You don't give him a chance, and Lake taps on his 4th kill of the round. Merciless coming from Lake.
Yeah, Swisher, though, we can't forget what a huge flashbang that was to set up Lake for those 2 frags over on ramp. I mean, he threw it immediately, and we talked about how good 3 of the 5 players here on M80 are on those flashbangs, and Swisher is a 0.73 thrown over the last 3 months per round, and he has a success rate highest on the team, 0.76 with those flashes. So honestly, you see it again there, why he's so effective with them, why he's so efficient with the flashes, and the way he's able to support Lake to allow for that round to be pulled back and into the W column. Junior has got the scout bot up. That's the only piece, though. Blue Jays decide to go for an eco around that scout. Not often you see a buy-up like this after losing pistol. Just a hero scout, let's call it.
With the deagle behind it. When Junior can do some serious damage, it usually makes more sense to do this on the CT side, where you're going to have that opportunity to save it if the round doesn't work out. But, okay, hold on. Hang on. Headshots available. Ooh, not going to want to give up this fight.
Yeah, I would even take it.
Damage. And now Swisher activating. Util out as well. Bomb dropped. Recovery on. So that 1 kill rumbles things, makes it a little interesting. But ultimately, there's nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that was so risky from slaxz, though, jumping around knowing the deagle was in the vicinity and then just barely missing the flick was cryptic. Finally, slaxz even takes a second look into it, but I think that second look was mostly to attract attention in his direction and force the Blue Jays to look down towards CT, which would allow Swisher to have impact with the M4 from long range, and that's exactly what materializes. So, M80... second round converted, but it was technically an eco for the Blue Jays. So here come the AKs. Junior happy to stick with the scout. He did connect with the headshot in the previous round. slaxz getting really aggressive here. It is going to yield 2 because Sin threw a flashbang at the perfect moment. Traded out eventually is slaxz, but it is a 4v3.
Yeah, well worth the price of entry. Junior going to be able to upgrade at the very least. Information there. Curious to see if Swisher goes back to support Lake or if he goes all the way through with this flank. Smoke up. That could allow Swisher to actually activate. Buys him some extra time. Hasn't done it just yet, and they're going to phase the smoke. Making their way on out. Lake can't land the shots. Does some damage, but he has to back away now. So Swisher will, in fact, activate down mid, but a little bit of a longer road to get here. At the gun, not getting it up in time. Classic comes back to hunt. And now they got control of Catwalk. They got somewhere to play from in the post. Freshy is low. This is a workable retake. Again, Classy rerouting out towards long. That kill from Junior sells it. Now it's all onto Hex, and he can't get up. Can't get up those boxes. Nice round win for the Blue Jays. Was looking a little tough at the beginning after that slack move in toward the middle, but hell of a recovery. And M80 facing some tough choices in this next round.
Yeah, I mean, you could force up. I think they will. Yeah, they look at the money and say, okay, let's buy up. Let's see what we can do with the couple of FAMASas and pistols and the scout on our side. That is really fantastic from the Blue Jays. After losing the opening 2 players, they get the trade onto slaxz, still a man disadvantage, but they work their way up cap methodically. And I think the greatest part is they have that resilience. They're staying alive, dodging the bullets overall, keeping the utility effective so that they can keep the cover that they've very aptly earned. And then that play from Pit, and also the mid play, right? Realizing Swisher would try to come around from that flank. That was a huge catch, preventing that from being even a factor. Anyway, we're into this force buy, and Swisher gets one back onto Cryptic after Cryptic found one on his own. And next is going to get Clasia. Uh-oh, indeed.
Tunnel's locked down. Tunnel's locked down. Up and over they go. They got to reroute. They've got to rally. And that means they're going to have to brave slaxz's scout. And with a long range angles here, this is not going to be an easy prospect. Junior wants to go toe-to-toe. A drop into the pit. No, either with the tag there. But no space gain just yet. Junior's trying to go for these switches. This is the duel for the map. For the round, at the very least. And it's slaxz who wins it. Killed the mid player, though. Oh! Okay, that was not the 5-7. That got the kill.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Little deceptive there. But Junior in a 1v2 clutch. Gap in that smoke, and they'll find him on the tracers. Hex follows it back through and happens to find the headshot. Nicely done from M80. Big recovery here for what could have been a very dangerous inflection point in this map.
That's what they want from Hex, though. 3K on the A site, and as you mentioned, like, that's just a beautiful recovery from M80. They get a round back. Blue Jays didn't really have much to bring out of the round that they did win, and you see that in their economy as they have to go for a light buy here. 3 techs, 2 deagles, 4 players have armor. This could be another fast play with those Tech 9s in the mix. Probably not too early on in the round because we've seen how those early B pushes can be vaporized. So they're going to take their time going to those B tunnels. This feels like it will finish B. Do they have a smoke? They do. And I think Classy is going to throw that one for CT, and they'll try to just crunch down in towards the B site.
That was a little bit curious from Hex, but wary of these players coming through middle. It's Sin instead to catch the kills. Man, disadvantage, but the rifle's now gained, and this is workable. Bomb needs to go down rather quickly. Take's going to be on. A lot of flashes to get back over the lip. There's incendiaries as well to start to eliminate positions. That's what they're going to throw. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, it's all about the guns. It's all about the guns, but Classy is going to put them to deadly effect. Comes down to the one. Gun barrel spotted. Freshie can't finish off the kill, but he's done the damage. Headshot to win it, and Freshie doesn't want to wait. But the flashbang is good! And Freshie flicked away. Oh, no! Spotted the player just before that flash bloom, but the crosshair was already off of him. And M80, slaxz is going to be thanking his lucky stars for that one.
I am surprised that Freshie doesn't continue spamming that door, because if he does, I think slaxz is dead. The thing is, then slaxz uses that time he's gained by getting back into cover on the opposite side to throw an absolutely masterful flashbang. Just a clutch one to come through and completely blind Freshie, who I guess didn't see it or didn't want to play anti-flash in that moment, and gets completely blinded. Thinks he has the lineup for the door, but he doesn't at all. And it will be capitalized on by slaxz. Fantastic win in a clutch situation. M80 are up by 3 now. Here come the guns. And there's the frag. Junior on to Sin and Classy on to Hex. Oh, hold the phone. Blue Jays rarely going out with a whimper after losing a round. And Lake is going to get one back onto Laxi, but still a man advantage for the Blue Jays. And they've got B all to themselves.
You might not even see a retake here. It's not bad. It's killing mid to everything. Right, if Freshie finds anything, frankly, if Freshie just lives, you weren't going to see anything. And so, indeed, M80 back away. Don't have the appetite for these kills. They need the guns to survive into the next, and a retake on B with a numbers disadvantage, that's just not what you want to see.
It's just Great work, Junior. Through the smoke, collecting that first onto Sin, and then afterwards Hex gets caught on the B site. The round just like that is done. Just wasn't the position that M80 needed, and Blue Jays had the read. They knew they had that B site to themselves. So they just walk in, get the plant, and now they might be looking a little bit for some frags here to keep a couple of guns, or try to get some guns out of the hands of M80, but they probably won't chase too hard because their money needs to be saved as well. Second round for the Blue Jays, though. M80 will have a buy here. Actually, do they even invest for Hex and Sin? I guess they should. Yeah, they probably should to make this more potent. They could have opted just to not spend any money at all and keep what they had from the previous round and try to make it work, right? Because then you keep a bit of a buy in the bank. But with the loss bonus of 1900, yeah, I say send it.
Probably if they did that, they'd have to change up the setup massively.
Yeah, exactly.
Going out of the corner. Long control established here by the Blue Jays. Means they'll likely be able to get the op of Junior into pit should they want. That's exactly what they're going to do. Now I can work a little bit of control catwalk. Though this boost up over the smoke could prove to be a problem. Sin.
Yeah.
Leaving himself exposed there in middle for quite a while. Seeing nothing. Is thinking this long control must be for real. Swing back out. Lake. That's a great flashbang from slaxz because Lake's able to get the kill, spot multiple players, have multiple players spam. That's a ton of information. Die here. Junior plucking one over the smoke. And Sid quite low as well. Yes, they got some tag damage on Junior, but that being the op, he's able to get into pit. He's able to get away. Now teammates are coming to support, and slaxz is overcommitted to the hunt. Time's going to be an issue, but that kill from Classy is now massive. Hex might catch him backing away. Classy is so quick into it. It has to be Lake to be the hero. Oh, and Hex can't even chase up that kill. Classy just being a nuisance, a nightmare for them to deal with. Lake will eventually pop the shot on the one. He's doing more than you could expect, but there's so much to be found, and it's Classy to take command here on Dust2.
Oh, man, just imagine if Hex wins that duel against Classy, though. Then Lake doesn't have to worry about the presence towards Cat and can focus all his attention onto ramp, and he does get those 2 frags, but in the end, look who it is that ends up getting that last. It's Classy. As the Blue Jays do some great work picking apart M80. The frag towards mid was great. And I think that slaxz is going to be kicking himself a little bit because he got so committed to that fight with Junior. He missed a golden opportunity to get Junior before he gets to the pit. Shots go wide. Junior slips down, and slaxz just slip of his focus, right? Because he goes in so far that he's exposed to those doors, but he's still focused in on pit. And well, he pays the price, and so does his team. Blue Jays looking to tie things up here, and it'll be a very ripe opportunity with only a deagle purchased up by M80. That is it.
Lake eating himself up middle. It's a predictable fate from the op of Junior to continue to brawl. I mean, it's slim chances here. He's trying to make something happen. He's tagged up. These pistols are relentless, but for the moment, at least, Blue Jays have been able to handle them. Meanwhile, Cryptic has worked his way all the way through the set. And is coming back out catwalk. So, any danger in this round is just about done. And it will be a tide.
Oh, yeah, this round was a non-starter from the beginning. And Hex, a little bit of damage on the Classy. Might get the frag, but with Loxy closing the gap now, it's very, very unlikely Hex to do anything more at all except die, and that's the case. 4-4, tied up. Blue Jays trying to take their first lead of Dust2, but here comes that full buy for M80 slaxz. The AWP back in his hands.
No kit. Sin can pick it up. Never
He
mind.
didn't,
Sin
though.
cannot pick it up. No kit. Not likely to see a retake. So this will be mostly determined before the bomb goes down. By long. But a tough spot here. Nice lineup there from Swisher, but the overcommit from Lake. That's the barrel of Cryptic's Mac 10. Now Swisher's still wanting to stick around. They're going to test him on Catwalk. It means he's going to be slaxz. We saw slaxz with this up. Hold court here. Out towards Cat. And once again, he's going to start to ring shots downrange. Flashes are much better this time, though.
Oh.
To force him off the angle, that allows Freshie into CT. And Freshie to kill Sin. Man,
I mean,
advantage
that's
still for M80, but the positioning is getting a little tougher.
Yeah, and the A site's technically lost. Blue Jays can plant for Cat. Long is a bit of a risk.
The problem is with this drop down from Freshie, he doesn't actually know if there's someone on Catwalk, if there's someone out long. Junior doesn't feel comfortable, and now Freshie is done, so it's all on Junior. So know that player's far away, so be able to get that bomb planted, but this will activate M80. Junior on the attempted reposition, looking to meet Cats. It's a good read and a great shot. And now Junior, I mean, he's risking it a lot with these repositions. He's absolutely correct.
Oh.
He just can't land that final blow. I love the decision making. Needed one more shot to connect to give themselves a proper chance for that 1v3. But it will be a defuse. It will be M80 surviving in the lead.
Yeah, that was in every way the right way to play that for Junior, to get that first and jump right back onto the site to try and keep the element of surprise in his favor. But slaxz, a little more stabilized than he was. He saw that the crosshair hadn't fully focused in on Junior's end, and that's why the shot goes wide, and slaxz is the one to win the day for M80. So they do get that fifth on the board. It's hard fought once more, as the Blue Jays off the bomb plant, and with the money they had in the bank accounts, will have another buy up to try and get it tied up once more. Cryptic going to deploy some early util here. Smoke thrown before long and middle. 4 players grouped up for the Blue Jays. They're going to go fast. Oh, this could be the right call. Hex a little isolated here, but he hits an insta headshot onto Laxi, and that flashbang was perfectly timed from Sin to support him and force the Blue Jays to pack up and head back. Still going to be tossed here up Cat. Blue Jays readjusting into A. This is what M80 wants. This is where they have the bulk of their defenses.
Timing that Molotov's good. Cryptic's gonna back away. Time's getting short now.
Yeah, they don't have time to back away. They have to go.
They've got the bomb here as well, right? So even if these Catwalk players get up, the thing that matters is the long fight. Flashman to get them at the angle, but slaxz off of it. Actually misses this shot. That was the opportunity to put this round all but to rest. Still gonna be very tough from a time perspective, and Lake's still holding court out towards Goose. Getting on towards the site is the real challenge here. They just don't have the clock for this. Even with that kill, this round is over. Cryptic knows it. That final kill would have mattered, but it's not to be. M80 finds 6.
Yeah, and importantly, the AWP is recovered by Sin off the ground, so slaxz doesn't have to reinvest into it, nor does the rest of his team. And yeah, that's a very nice play by him. Under pressure towards Carr, the Molotov burning at his feet, but he's still able to get a couple. Timeout forced out by Blue Jays. They're running out of money and rounds here in this first half to try and take that ever-elusive lead. And they won't take the lead, of course, since M80 got the 6th. So it will be, at best case, a tied scoreline heading to that second half.
And without a bomb plant in that one as well, the bank
Yeah.
is looking a little light. The war chest is a little depleted. So talking it over might be a faster play here with the techie.
Yeah, I think they made a little bit of a mistake there. They hesitated when that util came through, which, I mean, you kind of have to, but I think the better situation would have been to immediately not wait like 3 or 4 seconds to just throw the smoke into it and keep going, because you've got to take that fight fast in order to gain the space, especially where the bomb was positioned towards the back of Taxi. They have to gain that space as quickly as possible, and they just couldn't. They left themselves with no room for error.
I think one of the things that's not working as well for Blue Jays here is slaxz, who's that new addition. Has been a terrific space taker for them. Has been really delivering on the entries and not finding the same level of success. This time it's going to work out better, though heavy
Lots of
damage back the other way. Still, this is what Blue Jays have been hoping for out of that long fight.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been cleaner, but definitely, I agree with you, though. Laxi, a player that is very, very active on those opening duels, loves to take them, and despite the fact that he has been, he just hasn't been winning them at all. Even there, you know, he's one doing damage, but Freshie finishes the job. Blue Jays going to slow things up, taking their time on the approach. I think the softened Freshie and Laxi could become a problem here, especially considering 3 M80 players have nades that they have no reason to use right now and can save for a post plant. Well, maybe they do have a reason to clear out that smoke. They're going to do it twice. Okay. It doesn't really gain them much. Now the push comes through.
Molotov give away the audio cue on Cryptic, now losing some teammates. Cryptic trying to gain this purchase, but now slaxz comes into play with that AWP off the catwalk. Lake swinging that gun barrel about, and Freshie next to fall. 7 for M80, and again, no bomb plant means again the Blue Jays buy will be wanting.
Turns out they didn't need the nades at all. That was just all bullets required there. I think a nade did chase that last frag, but it ended up being Lake with the bullets to take care of the last one anyway. And it will be the 12th round of play, with M80 looking to take an identical lead as they did on that previous map of Inferno at 8-4. The Blue Jays, they're buying whatever they can. It's bits and pieces. A Scout, 2 MAC-10s, a Tech-9, and a Galil, and Junior already taking a little bit of damage in the early parts of the round. Hex looks like he wants to get aggressive. The flashbang was thrown there, but he decides to back off. Here, flashbang. In turn, he hits the shot, but it's not a headshot, so Hex will survive. But he's wounded. No more aggression will be permitted on his side. This is a heavy lean towards B from M80, though.
It really is. You got the vision from slaxz down catwalk. Dunk the nade onto Cryptic. And to be fair, the bomb is funneling back this way, so M80 might have a little bit of a read. Seems like a split. Timely smoking towards the tunnels, though, means they're going to take this space, but it's not going to be as effective. Channel created through the smokes. Here they go. Sin with the one, transfers onto the next.
What?
That's a beautiful bit of spray control. 1 HP on the last, but well-earned triple kill coming through from Sin.
That's a beauty. Blue Jays are sent packing in the other direction now. Trying to get into the A side. Still a chance, but only 19 seconds left on the clock. And Classia gone. That means the round probably over here as Juniors traded out. Mike, 8-4 as we head to the halftime break.
Final half of play here between M80 and the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays are flying on Wounded Wing at this point in time. It's not looking great for the squad in blue here, John.
No, not at all. M80, a chance to put a stranglehold on this one with a couple of early rounds in the second half. They do slow it up a little bit. I'm not sure what made them get timid here into long. They had a look, didn't see anything, and said, okay, this is a little weird. Now that slaxz gains the information, I believe he spotted at least one of those players. Going to throw a fake smoke here to convince Blue Jays are going to go, to convince the Blue Jays that they're going to go to the A site.
I mean, look at how many players he's pulled. Everybody's here. It's just going to be Cryptic back to site. He's got to do something about this, and slaxz is seeing this. He's like, guys, I've got 3 looking at me. Go quick. But Cryptic might just be a one-man wrecking crew. He's all that you need. Back a site, they can't take him out. And now teammates are coming in to reinforce, give him a little bit of support. Now he's losing those teammates. Eventually, Cryptic will falter. Still, he's giving them a chance into an even situation. They know they still have to deal with slaxz top mid. He's buying precious time for his teammates to get the bomb down. slaxz just wants this kill.
Yeah.
He just wants this kill. Knows that he's going to be a thorn in their side if he leaves them alive. Engagement out at the scaffolding. But now, uh-oh, slaxz is nowhere near that bomb. slaxz is nowhere near that bomb. They're just going to stick this if they find it. And, yeah, slaxz can't do anything about this.
Bomb has been defused.
Well, that's an anticlimactic way to end a pistol round.
Yeah, considering how great of a call it was and the way they sold it on the fake, it felt like it was a sure thing. But if you don't hit the shots, it doesn't matter how good the strat calling is, you're not going to win the round. And M80, the pistol round struggles continue for them. I mean, that's just, I have to give full credit to Cryptic, though. Those aren't the easiest of shots to connect on, and he did fantastic. Just surviving long enough, getting a couple of frags, reinforcements arrive. Yes, M80 still get the bomb plant, so you're going to see the first fight here. But that was a critical round victory for the Blue Jays off of the IGL. And through the smoke, Lake and slaxz getting lit up, but so is laxz, so he's going to have to fade off that fight.
Secret Agent Classia. Complete backlines. Flank up. How long does he hold his nerve? We could get a knife here on this long player. He's looking for 2, though.
Imagine slaxz turns around here.
Here comes the knife. There's that money made. Long is locked down. He does give away his chance at the multi-frag. In favor of the theatrics, still slaxz is going to be A-okay with that. Couple quick kills caught. If he drops, it could be a bomb plant. Fortunately for them, he's not going to do that. slaxz good for 4 in the site defense. And that is a good round for the economy.
Doubled up on his first round contributions twice. 4 frags on the board. Nicely done for laxz. Good for Blue Jays if he starts to wake up. And M80's force buy will not yield them much, and they're now put on to the eco. 2 deagles. A little bit of util available. But as it stands, Blue Jays are the ones in the driver's seat this round. Mid-control gain from M80, not being challenged much by the Blue Jays, so, you know, a mid to B, certainly possible. I imagine Sin is going to throw that smoke very shortly to allow Lake to focus his attention towards window. Does see the player hopping up for information, that's Classia. Maybe that's not the end result. I don't know, maybe this isn't the final plan, but either way, Blue Jays must have an inkling as to what's materializing here.
That makes it easier.
Yeah.
Start to connect the dots. Bullets are actually very good at connect the dots. Coloring Pro is good. Okay, Hex at least adds a little bit of damage. This should be an abject shutdown, unless... Indeed. Classy will come up on the flank. So a couple blemishes on the perfect record of the Blue Jays, but they have closest gap to just the one. Still, it's the rifle round where they have to actually tie things up. And once again, as has often been the totem of change for M80, slaxz has an AWP.
Yep. And that very much could be a difference maker into this round. Well, Junior will have the op on the other side. They've gone pretty much blow for blow, I would say, throughout this map of Dust2 so far. Junior, whoa, what is this? Pushing aggressively towards the top
Oh my
mid.
goodness.
Shotgun opping.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, fast play's coming in towards B, and Laxy's done, so they've completely avoided the op on the other side, and Classy's in big trouble. Big trouble indeed. He's overwhelmed. This is a save. For all your crazy, bold, up-the-middle moves, this is a bomb down in a 3-on-5 on Dust2 B site. You're out of here.
Yeah, I don't mind the play from Junior. I don't think, you know, whether he holds back towards mid or goes for that push, it doesn't make much of a difference in the outcome of the round. But, yeah, just very bold, M80. Very quick to execute towards B. And we're not to be stopped at all. I mean, you saw Classia, you mentioned it, just so overwhelmed with the presence from M80 trying to hide in a smoke, but it was never going to happen. He was flashed out and then finished off. So M80 in their first gun round make it look very clean as they pick up their 9th. Not to mention, it all starts with slaxz in the op, right?
Terrorists win.
Yeah. That also helps. We said it's a difference maker. We said it's a totem for them. And yeah, I mean, getting the opener is always going to make life easier, right? Just peering on through, putting that threat out there. Still, Blue Jays with the 3 saves. How are they going to mount the defense this time? Junior wasn't spotted. So, John, is he going to yeet up mid twice?
No, he won't be allowed to. Molotov's in this time. And he wasn't planning on it anyway. Just patiently waiting. This M80 question is, will they go twice towards the B site quickly? Blue Jays got the smoke up, and yeah, that'll push them back. Classia anchoring it down. Smoke tossed. I mean, they tossed into the smoke, and I think they saw Classia. Yeah, they're aware.
Trying to play the timing on that, but it is Junior this time who strikes first with that op. Feels like we got a game of Battleship going on right now, trying to find your pieces through the smoke. Good flashbang, better shot from Cryptic. Looked like it was dangerous for a moment, but instead, now it's M80 in dire straits.
M80 trying to recollect themselves here towards mid. They have the space being given to them. Obviously, since the Blue Jays have a 5v3 edge, they have no reason to get aggressive here. They're just going to wait for the arrival of M80 to either of these bomb sites. It will be A, no question. If you get past Laxy, you know, a bomb plant feels like it should come through. That's a good smoke. Let's see if they get the second one as well. They will. That will clear the path towards the A site.
Very well could be a bomb plant. Should be a bomb plant at this point. That's the first step. The our catwalk is control as well. No one's fighting this, so they've got a place to play from in the post. Laxy's making a move ahead of his teammates, and that might be a bit of a blunder. Nobody else is really set up to help him. Swisher wants one more before they really get into this retake proper, but it's not going to be given to him. Now the defense gets mounted. Swisher out in the open, continuing to fight, but slaxz and Hex chiming in, and now it's all just onto that Oppa Junior, and he's stuck between the two players. from a 3-on-5 to a full round recovery for M80. That is disaster for Blue Jays.
No question. And I think you called it out very aptly, Mike, with slaxz going ahead of the rest of his team. It wasn't necessary. He could have waited, could have had a flashbang or something to go around it, but it's just a dry peek around the corner, and he gets absolutely flummoxed in his attempt to come through. And then M80 off of it, just continue to stabilize, rebuff the Blue Jays as they come through, and just fantastic work holding their ground, X in particular. And now Lake is just going to walk out towards long. He gets one. Cryptic's still here, though, and he only gets one as well. Lake, the follow-up for the 2K, 4v3 advantage. Still have Junior here with the AWP, who could absolutely be a difference maker, but the tides are shifting towards M80 if Junior can't get anything here.
The unscope.
Yeah.
The unscope. I mean, I'll have the information, but at this point, his chance to get a shot is gone. That was his best opportunity. The bomb still has to cross. That is a bit of a problem. slaxz!
What?
Sniper shot off the MP9. Junior burning, but again, the unscope. Would have been a risk, but maybe a second more of patience, and now they know they're hemmed in.
That's so
Now they know Swisher's on the flank, so they have to clear it, and slaxz will be able to do exactly that. Bomb's going to be planted. It's going to be a 2-on-2 in the retake.
I think the problem is the spacing they had to give up to take care of Swisher, right? Because they both fall off of Cat, and Junior's all the way down into mid with the AWP. It's going to be difficult.
This is for the map. This is for the map. They're betting everything on it. It's down to 1v2. slaxz goes forward. slaxz! Oh, my goodness. It's been a quiet map by the standard that he set for himself, but what a time to come alive to find those 4 and critical kills at every juncture. Battling back in to deal with Swisher and towards mid, coming back in for the clear on the 2 players on site. That's a hell of a time for the new addition to step up.
Yeah, I think that Swisher frag was the key one that allowed him to regain that space and feel more comfortable on Cap, because if they don't deal with Swisher quickly, then they never get comfortable, and they won't be able to get to the bomb site at all. But slaxz, beautiful stuff. I mean, we talked about him needing to wake up for this squad. He's that firepower boost they're hoping to add to this roster, and whether it's official or not, he's making a case for himself. 8th round picked up off that 4K. 2 rounds separate these 2 squads, but they still, I think the biggest problem for the Blue Jays is that, 1, they don't break the economy of M80, and 2, they don't build up their own, because you have to settle for a couple of MP9s around an AWP, an AK, and an A1S, and oh, they might lose one of those MP9s immediately here. Freshie gets spammed down to 5 HP, will survive, and falls off, but that's a very tough first engagement for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he's a wisp away from death. Thought in his general direction, he's out of play. Yes, they're going to stack up for this engagement, but that totem pole, as it's being assembled, gets chopped down by Hex. Need to follow up on Junior, making these A players very vulnerable indeed. Freshie to hold mid, flashbang, get some peek off of it. Instead of this flash, this molly, Freshie has to go forward. Can he make something out of this? Can Freshie get anything out of this? Even just distraction to allow a teammate to peek would be huge. But this is the distraction. They're going up catwalk and no one's left to defend A. Oh my. Totally out of position here. Freshie will be on the flank. That might work if he'd had a bit more health to fight with. Classy at least clears out Swisher. This allows him to go for the retake, but it's Junior instead who has to survive and set up for that retake here, John.
I don't know if they go for it. Like, they're so out of position. Junior wasn't on the site anymore. Look at the util situation. It's non-existent pretty much. They only have a smoke, and their money is poor. So saving is the only call for them, and they will be falling back here as M80 do another great job of taking control of that A site.
Just keeping Blue Jays' head spinning in that one as well, right?
Really, yeah.
So tough to read where M80 was actually wrapping up. The information denial game was fantastic, and I mean, with a save, Blue Jays will at least be able to fight in the next, but it's coming towards the end.
Yeah, I thought Swisher's position would be more potent. I didn't think they would clear that aggressively, but they do. So well done for Blue Jays to find that. But by the time they do, it's already too late because M80 have run over the rest of their forces towards A. And, well, there's the 11th Now the Blue Jays off the 3-man save. Still have another crack at it here, but this is their last chance, realistically, because the loss bonus sitting at 1900, that's not going to be enough to help you do much of anything in the follow-up round, should you find nothing in this one. Smoke goes out for Sin. Junior jumping around, hoping to gain visibility. He's going to throw that nade into the smoke to try and gain even more of a chance at a shot, but he won't get it off. Now slaxz on the other side. He capitalizes. No mistake there, and they're just going to flood into the B site. They probably already got this.
Yeah, it has to be Junior. It has to be Junior, and he's backing away. This is his first opportunity. There's just not going to be any more. Spam is pure desperation. It's 12 rounds on the board. It's series point confirmed for M80. It's another save for the Blue Jays. At some point, the M80 are going to start hunting.
Yeah, they really should. The money's there for the most part amongst the AK players. Maybe you want to keep the op safe, but outside of that, send those rifles out. Take these guns out of their hands, because if they do, they know that Blue Jays will be completely shot in terms of a chance for a strong buy-up in that next round. And they're going. Yeah.
Yeah, Laxy hears them coming. It's fine, as long as they get one. As long as they get one. Laxy making sure they wind up with none.
Terrorists win.
That's crazy.
And the hold's good, and Lake's gone as well, so at this point, you need to sit back on your haunches a little bit. So no success on the hunt. But the round certainly is one more of the next 4.
I thought they had Laxy. Credit to him, honestly, for getting those 2 frags and keeping M80 from grabbing some guns, or at least dropping them out of the hands of the Blue Jays.
We were critiquing him. I mean, he was a lot slower in the first half. Really struggled to have impact, but he's been sharp here since the swap. Going to be razor sharp if Blue Jays are somehow going to make a run back to overtime.
M80 just playing default a little bit here at the beginning of the round, hoping for some aggression. Doesn't come through. Junior misses a shot. Throws a flashbang afterwards, and that will force M80 back a little bit, but they quickly readjust themselves and look to gain that space up cat. Sin and Hex in the meantime want this long control. They have to clear close. Freshy's got the MP9. He could shoot through them. Oh, he plays anti-flash, and Sin looks the right direction. He will take care of that. Cryptic could be their next victim. Sliver, at least one, won't get it. 5v3 in the A site at risk of being completely lost.
Get on the Junior. Lee leaves himself exposed. That sets up Swisher to come off the catwalk, and it's all done. It's all done. It's Classia with an MP9, and the world arrayed against him. 4 players to find. And no signpost for where to go. Panic setting in as they see their chance of the dub slipping away. Classy will be able to get the first. That gets him an upgrade as well, but there's so much ground to cover. There's just going to be nothing given to him for free. A kit at least can be retrieved here. It's gone. But as he goes to get it, Swisher is watching, Hex is watching, and M80 are watching the dubs hit the board. They will move on. A matchup against Getting Info here in the upper bracket awaits. It's not done just yet for the Blue Jays that have another chance, but it's now everything on the line.